So I'm decluttering 10 fragrances from my collection, and in today's video, I'm gonna let you know why they have to go. I've split these fragrances into two categories. The first category are fragrances that I can respect and I think maybe objectively good fragrances, but just don't vibe with me. And the second category are fragrances that I just don't understand. There's one particular brand that is in that second category. There are 2 fragrances in that list. And there's also some other fragrances from that brand that I've smelled. And to be honest, guys, this brand is becoming very, very popular. It's well loved. And I don't really understand why. So I want you guys to stay tuned so that we can have a chat in the comments about these fragrances, that particular brand, and what's going on there. Let's start off with the first fragrance. The first fragrance is Musk Therapy by Initio. And I know everyone and their mum loves this fragrance. Even I loved this fragrance at one point. So a few years ago, I smelt this in the shop and I was like, oh my gosh. I fell in love with this fragrance. I was like, okay, it's super expensive for like an everyday musky citrus fragrance, but I loved it. I absolutely adored it. And I didn't buy it for ages. I haven't had this fragrance for years. I didn't buy it for a really long time, but it was on my wish list for ages, right? And I was like, yeah, this is just, you know, that one of those dream fragrances. This was that for me. So I'm not crazy. Like, I get it, I understand it. But for some reason, since I've had it, it's just not what I remembered, not what I expected. Like the way that I felt when I first tried this fragrance, I was like, wow, it just smells like so clean, so classy, so like wonderful, just like a clean put together woman. Definitely smell like luxury and expensive while smelling really clean. And I just thought, yeah, that's a bit of me. I love it. But for some reason, the citrus, I can't do it. I can't do it. The citrus in this is just like, it's just giving cleaning products. I'm so sorry. Like it's just giving, like I'm cleaning in the kitchen. And like, I know there's a lot more going on in the fragrance than just the citrus, but the citrus is like standing out to me. And that's like all I'm smelling. I'm just overwhelmed by that citrus. It's like, oh, it's too sharp for me. I don't like it anymore. I can't do it. Like I've definitely tried to wear this. And like, you know, it's really bright, uplifting, clean, but it just doesn't work for me. I can't do Musk Therapy. And I'm really sad because I thought, yeah, this is the Initio for me. Because to be honest, guys, I really thought Initio would be one of those brands that I would love, like all of their fragrances. And it's just turned out not to be that. And yeah, Musk Therapy just, yeah, does not work for me. So the second fragrance, another fragrance from Initio, and that is Rehab. So Rehab, I have a bigger bottle of this. And my journey with this one is quite different. So I smelt this in store on my skin and I just fell in love with it. And what I got was a lot of that creamy texture, creamy, slightly sweet, lovely sandalwood. I just thought, oh, this is really, really nice. I didn't expect it. And I fell in love with it. And, you know, I've smelled like the really popular Initio fragrances over the years, but I never really smelled Rehab and fell in love with it before. So I was really taken aback. I was like, oh my goodness. I was so surprised by how much I loved it. I said, I need a bottle of this ASAP. So I bought myself a bottle. And then ever since I bought the bottle, it just hasn't been the same. And I think like, yeah, I do think this is a really lovely fragrance. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a good fragrance. I feel like I'd appreciate this more on a man. Not that it's a masculine fragrance, it's very, very unisex, but for me personally, the tobacco is a bit much. Like, I'm not a tobacco fan. I've never really been into tobacco. Like, I don't really want to smell a lot of tobacco in a fragrance. If it's there, it should be like undetectable. I'm not really into tobacco. I know a lot of people love tobacco, but I'm not one of those people. So for me, as much as this is creamy and smooth and well blended and very beautiful and a little bit sweet and like it's quite potent, I think it's a good fragrance, but the tobacco doesn't work for me. Like, I don't smell this and think, oh yeah, I want to put this on. Like, I just think, oh, that's nice, and you know, like, put it to the side, which is a shame, to be honest. So I'm definitely gonna have to find a new home for this one, because there's so much in here. Like, I have barely worn this, and yeah, it's a good fragrance. Like, I think it needs to be enjoyed by someone. It does smell really good. Let me spray it on my skin, just to see if maybe I can get back the magic that I initially had. Yeah. It's a good fragrance, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't want to smell like this at all. At all. Yeah, it really is like soft. It's a potent fragrance, but it's soft. It's like cozy and creamy and a little bit sweet. Yeah, there's a lot going on in here, but it just smells masculine to me. I don't know why. Like, not super masculine that a woman couldn't wear it, but just a bit too masculine for me personally. So yeah, Rehab again, not for me. So the third fragrance I think will shock you guys even more than the first two. Well, definitely the first one. I don't know if Rehab was a shock, but I don't know if you guys were expecting me to put Musk Therapy on this list, but this one I think you'll be even more surprised by, and it is Burberry Goddess. So this fragrance, when I smelled it first, I was like, okay. I didn't expect this for a designer fragrance. I feel like this and probably the next fragrance I'm going to talk about, both of these are like designer fragrances that they just give niche. I didn't really expect this to be, you know, in Superdrug and in Boots and stuff. I was like, oh, wow, this is very, 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 very vanilla heavy. Like, wow. My issue with Goddess is the lavender. I just don't need lavender in my vanillas. Like, once upon a time I was in love with Libre Intense, and that was my fragrance, and then it like became my bedtime fragrance, and it just made me really happy to spray it before going to bed, and then I just stopped wearing it. And I think I went through a few bottles of that fragrance, like lavender and vanilla, what a combo. But now I don't really want to smell lavender, and I know a lot of people say that the lavender in this is not too prominent, but for me that doesn't want to smell it, it's a bit much. So I just rather not. Like, I don't want to wear this. I think it's a good fragrance, and I think the vanilla in this is very nice, but I don't smell this and think, yeah, I want to wear it. I don't, and that's why I haven't been wearing it, and that's why I need to find a new home for it. So that's Burberry Goddess. So the next fragrance, like I said, is another designer fragrance that really does smell like niche. And not like niche in terms of quality, but niche in terms of the concept. Like, I just wouldn't expect designer fragrances to go in this direction. But I guess, to be honest, because everyone's into like gourmands and really sweet fragrances, I guess that's why these designer houses are, you know, trying to put something forward that is gourmand, or something that will compete with you know, some of the niche and Middle Eastern brands. Anyway, so this is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, and I thought to myself, it's a small bottle, maybe I shouldn't get rid of it. But one thing about me, guys, I'm really quick to declutter. Like, if I don't wear it, let someone else wear it. I don't need to like just have it there for having its sake. I'm not like one of those people, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with you know, stacking up loads or collecting, but I'm not really a collector. I want to wear and love the fragrances that I have. So if I don't like it, I'm getting rid of it. And this is one of those fragrances that I can appreciate, but it's just a bit much. I just feel like they were trying to do like the vanilla cupcake with lemon, really gourmand, really sweet. And I just feel like it just wasn't done in a like tactful way. It just feels really, I don't know if like tacky is even the word. I just feel like you didn't make this refined. It just feels like you just slapped lots of sweetness in the fragrance, and then you slap some lemon in there, and it's just like you didn't do any refining, like, you know, kind of like with music, and there was no mixing, so you just kind of slapped some instruments together, got some people to sing, and then like you didn't refine anything, like you didn't do anything else. That's kind of how I feel about this fragrance. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just find it like overbearing. Oh my gosh, it's just, there's something in it. It makes my stomach turn a little bit. And it's a shame because I do like that whole concept of vanilla and lemon. I can't really remember the notes in this fragrance. Maybe there's caramel, I don't even know, I can't remember. But yeah, I feel like this could have been really good. Or really good for me, but it's not. And to be honest, I must say, like, I'm not really into wearing like lemon vanilla type fragrances. Like, I have Lira and I don't reach for it. I like Lira. I like it a lot more than I like this. I think Lira is a lot more refined. It's a bit lighter. The vanilla is a bit more airy. I find that one is nice, but not something that I would want to wear. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not this type of girl. Like, this type of fragrance is not for me. I'm not the target audience. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like this. So I'm going to get rid of it. So the next fragrance is an extrait of a fragrance that I love dearly. And that is Ce Soir. So I bought this thinking maybe I can layer it with the original and just, you know, smell like Ce Soir times 100. That was kind of my thinking. And to be honest, I could do that. Like, I could keep this and I could layer them together and, you know, be happy. But I don't know. I just feel like really underwhelmed by this one. It doesn't have the same like flirty like vibe that Ce Soir has. It's just like, I don't know. It's got more grit. I think it's got some patchouli in here. I'm not a fan of patchouli, but it doesn't smell bad. There's nothing in here that's like offensive, but I just feel like I don't need it. Like, I haven't really worn it since I got it. I'd rather just wear the original. I like how the original smells. It smells like, you know, really bright, fruity. They both are really sweet, but I just find the other one more fun, more flirty, just more my vibe. I feel like this fragrance is similar, but it took away all the fun and took away exactly what I like Ce Soir for. So yes, I could keep it, but like I said, I don't keep fragrances for the sake of it. So I'm just gonna find someone else to enjoy this, because someone will enjoy this more than me. And I think like fragrances deserve that. Do you know what I mean? Like, let someone enjoy it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not wearing it. So like, why not let it go somewhere else? So yeah, Ce Soir Extrait, not for me. Don't really care for it. So there you go. So the next fragrance is one that I've spoken about in a previous video where I spoke about blind buys that went wrong. And that is Silky Woods by Goldfield and Banks. So this fragrance, I can definitely see why people love it. I feel like the sweetness is appealing. Not to me, but I think like objectively, yeah, it's not like too sweet, but there's something about I think there might be incense in here. It's like a smoky, it's got like a smoky vibe. It's not like super smoky. It's not like Baby Cat. I find Baby Cat's like very smoky, but it's not like that. But it's got this like undercover smokiness with the sweetness that I don't know, I don't need it. And also it reminds me so much of Casablanca by Swiss Arabian, and that fragrance I used to love. That was also a blind buy, but I used to love that fragrance, and then it just became like cloying, and I find that fragrance very sticky and just too much. And I find this reminds me of it so much that I can't enjoy this at all, which is a shame. Because yeah, had potential, but I just, when I smell it, I'm just like, yeah, I don't need that. Get that away from me. So someone else will enjoy this, I'm sure. So yeah, Silky Woods and Silky Woods and Banks. Silky Woods by Goldfield and Banks. So the last fragrance in my first category of fragrances I can respect but are not my cup of tea, this is Rosendo Matteo number 6. So, I mean, this bottle is really, really full. I went to Fortnum & Mason a few years ago and I went to have a look at some fragrances. I don't think I was planning to even buy anything, but I left with number 5. And that day I had number 5 on my left wrist and number 6 on my right wrist. And I was really trying to make that decision. I really liked them both and I wasn't sure which one. And I ended up choosing number 5. So I always said to myself, I will go back and get number 6. And then I did go back and get number 6 eventually, like years later. And yeah, it's just not my vibe anymore. What I will say is that this fragrance develops. Like, it kind of reminds me of Halfeti, not in how it smells at all, but in how, like, when you spray it first, you're like, okay, this is nice, or, you know, this is how it smells. But then while you're wearing it, you just catch whiffs of, like, all sorts. That's what this fragrance does. Like, it has so much depth, so much going on. And it, you know, those whiffs that you get, they do smell good. I think it's a very sexy floral fragrance. Jasmine, like it's sexy, but yes, yeah, okay. It is very, very sexy, I must say. Like, it does smell like you're trying to seduce someone. And to be honest, like from the bottle, it does smell good, but like, I don't know, sometimes jasmine, like white flowers, they can just be a bit too much for me. I can take them in small doses. And I think that's my issue with this fragrance. I just don't need jasmine fragrances. Unless the jasmine is with rose, I don't think I really want to know. So yeah, jasmine, sandalwood, oriental musk. So it is like soft and creamy, but the jasmine is very potent. It has that sort of like waxy texture that I don't like. I don't like that. I think I prefer jasmine when it smells like more fresh and clean. This is like more indolic and waxy and thick. And that's why, yeah, I find it a lot. Like, it smells nice from the bottle, but like when I'm wearing it, I just feel like this is too much jasmine for me. So yeah, someone will be happy to receive basically a full bottle of this. So yeah, didn't work out for me. Number 6 by Rosendo Matteo. So we are on to the second category of fragrances. So there's only 3 left. And like I said in the beginning, 2 of these fragrances are from one brand. But let's go with the fragrance that's not from that brand. And this is a fragrance that, like, I found recently. I completely forgot that I had this fragrance. I swapped it with someone. I can't remember what I gave them, but I was like, oh my gosh, I really want this fragrance. I had never smelled it before. Very, very silly of me. And that is Rose's Berberanza by Lancome. And yeah, this is a full bottle. And I found this recently and I was like, what's this doing here? I need to find someone to get this, like, real quick. But yeah, this is extremely sweet, sticky and nutty. You can smell the roses, like really sugary, sweet type of roses. Very, very nutty. And like I said, sticky sweet. I just find it like too much. Like, there's just no reason to smell like this. No reason at all. No, absolutely not. Like, I don't understand this one. I don't understand, like, people that absolutely adore this. Obviously, like, fragrance is subjective, and everyone likes different things, but I can't see or I can't smell what they're smelling. Like, I'm just like, get that away from me. Like a toothache. And I love a sweet fragrance, I do, but I don't know, it's a sticky texture, kind of like, I guess maybe this this line of Lancome's like they like a bit of that sticky type of fragrance. Like Oud Bouquet is another one. I thought I would love it, but that sticky sweetness, it just, nah, it doesn't really work for me. I think Oud Bouquet would smell nice. Like the sillage would be lovely, because I think the sillage would be less sticky, and you just smell like the sweetness and the rose and a bit of the oud, and I think that would be nice. Same with this, maybe the sillage would be nice, but yeah, way too sickly sweet and nutty. Like, it's really nutty, this fragrance. You can smell it straight off the bottle. Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't even know who would like want to take this off me, but I know there are people that love it. So yeah, I will find this another home. That is Rose's Berberanza. The bottle's kind of cute. Like, I think this is nice. But yeah, there we go. So we're finally at the part where I want to talk to you guys, yeah? Because these two fragrances are from the house of Ce. And I just don't really understand. Like, I need you guys to tell me, tell me I'm wrong. Give me a fragrance that you think I might love. But like, yeah, I don't know, guys. I have a sample of For Your Love, which I thought I was really gonna like. I don't. I tried Sweet Praline in the store, and I really liked it in store. And I'm telling you, when I actually got it, like, I thought, is this a fake fragrance? Like, I don't remember anything smelling like this. I think, like, from the bottle, it just smells awful. I think, like, when you wear it, it smells a bit more like fluffy, sweet, fruity, which is okay, but I don't like it. Like, I don't see, no, just no. Nothing like what I remember smelling in store. And this is why you shouldn't be so quick to go and buy fragrances as soon as you tried it once in store. Just because you tried it on your skin one time. Like, I need to be slower. And to be honest, I'm pretty slow with buying fragrances. Like, I'm not a huge blind buyer, and I'm not like super quick. I take my time, I sample, etc. But I just was like, yeah, let me get one. And I think it's because I like the bottles. I really like these kind of bottles. Like these bottles, Resin de Mateo, like, it's my cup of tea. So maybe that was like making me feel like I needed one of these fragrances. But Sweet Praline, I just, like, what on earth? No. When I smelled it in store, I was in Selfridges, I was like, oh my gosh, the guy was trying to sell me For Your Love. And I was like, that's nice, but Sweet Praline, yes. And just no. Absolutely no. Like, I would never recommend this to anyone. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you love this. I don't even know if anyone loves this one, because everyone's always talking about For Your Love. And the next one also people talk about a lot. So the next one is Chere. And this fragrance is all right. Like, I think it's better than Sweet Praline. Sweet Praline is just like, no. This is okay, but it just smells like generic perfume. It just smells really perfumey, really like the alcohol, and it just like spray. That's how it smells to me. I just don't see why anybody would be like hyped about this, why anybody would love this so much. Like, it's just, I just find it so basic. I almost feel like I shouldn't say that, but no, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't like For Your Love either. And I know I tried a few others when I went to Les Sentiers. I can't even remember their names, but like, I just didn't find any that I liked. So I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of the house of Ce. If you think that maybe there's something else that I would like, or something else that you absolutely love that would be worth trying. So that's it, guys. Those are the fragrances I am decluttering from my collection. Let me know in the comments if you love any of these, or you feel the same way that I do, if you're a Ce fan or not. And please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed yet. Please hit that button, leave a like as well, and I'd love to chat to you guys in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.